All right. Good morning. Good morning. I'm on travel yet again. Came to see my niece and celebrate with her. She's finished up pre-K, going into kindergarten. I believe that's right. So I came to celebrate with the fam. Let's get into it. I think today's devotion is pretty good. So the daily verse is Jeremiah 32:17 through 19. Ah, sovereign Lord, you have made the heavens and the earth by the great power and outstretched arm. Nothing is too hard for you. Great and mighty God, whose name is the Lord Almighty. Great are your purposes and mighty are your deeds. Jeremiah 32:17 through 19. All right, so the devotion begins. It says, God works miracles. And, this one, sometimes I be feeling like God be working miracles for other people. But my miracles be like late. All right, but let's get started. God works miracles. It is always good to stir up our faith and remember that God is a God of miracles. As the prophet Jeremiah said, nothing is too difficult for him. Because we believe his word, we can be confident that with God, all things are possible. You may feel that your life is a mess right now and that nothing will ever change. For a believer, that's not true. God can take your biggest mess and turn it into biggest miracle. That I do believe. I've seen in other people's stories how God has changed like something that seemed bad at the time, like real bad, and it changed into some kind of miracle. And I think that's really, really a good thing because, only God could do it. Only God could take some bad and make it into a good like that. And for me, I feel like that's the hope that I really lean on. Like, no matter how bad your situation, knowing that God could, in seconds, just like change it into something beautiful, man, I think that's really, really dope. The devotion continues. It says, in our natural minds, there are certain things we think of as too difficult for us. We may be thinking about a situation right now that seems too hard. Maybe it's getting out of debt. Maybe it's losing weight and becoming physically healthy. Maybe it's doing your part to see a breakthrough in your marriage or family. Whatever your circumstances are, if there is something that seems too difficult for you, I have good news today. It's not too hard for God. That's real. And almost all of these things that were mentioned, debt, losing weight, getting physically healthy, a breakthrough in family, a breakthrough in marriage. These are things that we deal with all the time. Like, I can't tell you the amount of stuff that I've had to deal with when it came to my debt walk and my debt journey. I can't tell you the amount of stuff that I had to deal with when it came to family and connecting. I can't tell you the amount of things that I go through and still go through with physical health and just making sure that I'm up to par and doing my part and seeing the results in a positive way. It's like, most of this, God has put some miracles in my life. So I'm very thankful. All right, so it continues. Let me remind you that in the Old Testament, God reached down from heaven and parted the Red Sea so his people could escape their enemies and walk through it on dry land. If you or I were to visit the ocean, we would not be able to hold back even a handful of water, but God held back all of it. This miraculous deliverance positioned his people to finally enter into the great promises he had for them. Think also about how hard you may have tried to change yourself or to change other people at times. That is very hard to do, but God can take hard, wounded, sinful, bitter hearts and make them soft, whole, strong, holy, loving, and forgiving. If he can do that, then I believe he can do anything. The salvation and transformation he does in us is truly miraculous. That's real, man. This I've experienced that. In the New Testament, Jesus did all kinds of miracles. Nothing was too difficult for him. Not turning 5 loaves and 2 fish into a meal that fed 5,000 people. Not healing a woman who had been bleeding for 12 years. Not raising someone from the dead. Not even walking on water. All of these things would definitely be too hard for us, but not for him. I encourage you to spend time thinking about the things you think are too hard for you. Take each one and surrender it to God. Release it and tell him that you trust him with it completely and that you believe nothing is too difficult for him. Prayer starter. Father, I know that nothing is too hard for you, and I believe that you can and will perform great miracles in my life. I pray that God performs miracles in my life and yours, but I definitely will say we all could find something that God has done for us in a significant, magnificent way. So take that with you. Have a good day. Enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. God bless.